Hey there, Derek Rydall here, talking about something I know is probably near and dear to your heart, to many people's hearts, and that is, what is real wealth and abundance? And this is really, really important. It's part of the overall principle I call awakened wealth or awakened abundance, or the abundance principle. And that is that the first thing I'll tell you is what it's not. Wealth or abundance is not stuff. It's not cabbages and kings, stocks and bonds, houses and horses, whatever. It's not stuff. Wealth or abundance is the substance of creation. It is this energy out of which everything is produced. And not only that, it is the very energy that is the substance of all form. And when you see a tree, a fruit tree, what is the wealth of that tree? Is it the fruit on the tree? If that was the case, when the harvest comes and all the fruit is gone, the farmer would go, well, that tree's broke, and cut it down, right? But that doesn't happen. She wouldn't do that. She sees her trees and she goes, these are just as wealthy as they ever were, and in due season, they're gonna produce another crop and another harvest after harvest after harvest. As long as the tree is kept healthy and the roots are kept healthy, it will continue to produce. So where is the wealth? What is the wealth? It is that invisible process that turns the raw soil into the sap and the flour and the marble and the fruit. It's that invisible substance and that invisible mechanism that knows how to turn that into some form, right? It's like the goose and the golden egg. The goose is producing all this gold, and so the guys cut the goose open and try to get all the gold out of it, and there's nothing but goose, and a dead goose at that, right? Where was the wealth? It was the goose itself. It was the invisible process that produced the gold. It's a metaphor. You are the goose that lays the golden eggs, not your internal organs, not your material body, not even necessarily your material efforts. But it is that invisible part of you that's actually producing your life. Your life didn't come out of something visible. You came from nothingness into somethingness, no thingness. No thingness is something very substantial. It's invisible, but it's real. And your consciousness is the storehouse of infinite riches. Your ideas, your ideation, your activation, your feelings, that frequency, that feeling of abundance, that feeling of power, that feeling of connection, that is wealth. That is abundance. Now, what's missing often is that it's not circulating. And I talk in other videos, the law of circulation. We have infinite, inexhaustible wealth and abundance within us, within our consciousness, within our mind, within our awareness, within this field, the quantum field, out of which everything else came, right? Everything came out of nothing. The Big Bang came out of no thing, but it had to be something for something to show up. Well, a Big Bang is available to you every day, a Big Bang of abundance and wealth, but it has to be circulated, right? And you would only really circulate if you understand that it's not about dollar bills or money or stocks, but it's about ideas and information and energy. And you begin to circulate that. You begin to share that. You begin to express that. You begin to step into that and to live from that. And that energy starts to circulate. It starts to expand. I talk about this in Awakened Wealth, the 7 gifts that give you everything. Giving out, giving up, giving in, giving thanks, giving to yourself, forgiving. As you start giving and circulating, then that circuit starts to produce the experience of abundance. There's a reason why what we call money, we call currency, which comes from a root for current, flow. And we call wealthy people affluent. Affluent comes from a root word that means to flow into. So you hear the words flow. Everywhere we talk about wealth, we hear flow. When the economy starts to go into recession and depression, it's not because there's a lack of wealth. It's because there's a lack of flow. There's a lack of circulation. People stop circulating ideas, investments of their time, talent, treasure. The trees are still growing apples. The fish are still swimming in the sea. The sun is still coming out. The rain is still falling. The wealth hasn't gone anywhere. It's stagnated because there's not circulation. So it's all about circulating this energy. And that's what I talk a lot about in Awaken Wealth. And I want to say one other thing about really understanding that wealth is not dollar bills. The word salary comes from an ancient term when the Romans were paid in salt, which means they were paid in salt, so they called it salary. We think that means money. It doesn't mean money. It's a medium of exchange. It's a way to exchange energy. When you hear the saying, money is the root of all evil, what they really says is the love of money is the root of all evil. But when you understand that money now is a symbol, one of the many symbols, like the fruit on a tree, that the symbol of money, loving the symbols of wealth and abundance, is the root of evil. Why? Because then you hold on to them, you hoard them, you give them your power, you stop circulating them, and the energy stagnates. And when it stagnates, it produces problems. Just like if the fruit on the tree, if you believed the fruit was the wealth, you would hold on to it. You would not let it get off the tree branch. And what's going to happen to it? It's going to rot. It's going to stagnate. The tree is going to stop producing more fruit. And you have no more wealth. You getting it? So wealth in abundance is an inside job. It's invisible, it's spiritual, it's energetic. So right now, the key is to find a place to start circulating. Look at what appears lacking in your life. And it doesn't have to be about dollars. It could be there's not enough love here. There's not enough joy here. There's not enough self-respect here. There's not enough approval or validation here. And start circulating that. First by asking, how can I give myself more of that? How would I be if I loved, validated, approved, respected myself? And start activating that energy within you, and then start giving it to the people and the places it's lacking. As you do that, you're not just being a good person. You're literally turning on the inner power plant and starting to generate that infinite energy within you. And it will not just show up as more love and more respect. It'll show up as healing, as improvement, as an abundance of health, as an abundance of opportunity, as an abundance of whatever qualities need to show up for fulfillment. So give that a practice. Let me know how that goes. And remember, dollars are not wealth. It is your consciousness that is. And it is your circulation that brings it into your life. I hope this is helpful. Until next time, remember to live authentically, love unconditionally, and follow your destiny.